Mr. Allen here. We're going to graph an ellipse here, and this one is actually not yet in standard form. Oh my goodness, it's not equal to 1. I can't graph that. What do I need to do? Well, if I want to get it equal to 1 by any means necessary, I'm going to need to divide by 576 on both sides. So everything gets divided by 576. Even that guy right there, everybody gets it. Everybody gets some 576. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now what I'm going to have, 16 over 576, that would reduce to 1 over 36. So I'm going to have x squared over 36 plus, and then over here, I'm going to have 36 over 576, that reduces to 1 over 16. So I'm going to have y minus 2, that quantity squared, over 16 equals 1. Now I am in standard form. All right, so what's my a value going to be here? Well, my a value comes from the larger one and the square root of that, so that's going to be 6, right? Square root of 36 is 6. Now, my b value is going to come from the smaller one. Square root of 16 is 4. There we go. And then I can get my c value. I'll get that later when I start getting to my foci, right? So my center here, my center is, what's my x value of my center? Whoa, it's 0. There's nothing there. It's going to be 0, right? So 0, and then my y value is going to be positive 2. My vertices, actually, you know what? I'm going to plot that first. 0, comma 2 is right here. And then my major axis is the horizontal, because that a value is associated with the x in this case. So I'm going to go 6 out to the right, and I'm going to go 6 out to the left. Those would be my vertices. I often find it just easier to do it on the graph. You could add and subtract 6 from your x value. That works too. So we're going to have 6 comma 2, and I'm going to also have negative 6 comma 2, right? 0 plus 6 and 0 minus 6 would give me those two values. So you can do that as well. If you're a visual person, pop it on that graph. All right, next up, my covertices. Well, that's going to be associated with my b value. I need to go 4 up and 4 down. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to plot those right here. And I'm going to go down 4, so that'll be right here. Or I'm adding 4 to 2, and I'm subtracting 4 from 2. So my coordinates will be 0, comma 6, and I'm going to have 0, comma negative 2. So I did that with the adding and subtracting there, and you can also clearly see it on the graph. Now we can connect some dots. Boom. Not bad, not bad. All right, how about my foci? I gotta have those foci. I'm gonna lose points if I don't pop those foci on there. All right, how am I gonna get those foci? Well, we gotta do a little 6 squared minus 4 squared equals c squared. So that's 36 minus 16 equals c squared. That's 20 equals c squared. So I got a square root on both sides, and now I got to break down that square root of 20, right? c equals the square root of 20. If I break that down, that's going to be 4 and 5, so square root of 4 is 2 root 5. So here's what we got, okay? Here's what we got. An approximation of the square root of 20, square root of 20 or 2 root 5 is going to be about 4.47 and change, okay? So about 4.5, right? So since my foci are on my major axis, I'm going out 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4.5-ish, and I'm also going 4.5-ish in the other direction. Those would be my two foci. Now, to graph them, we can use that approximation. For our answer for these foci, we're going to use the 2 root 5. So my foci will end up being negative 2 root 5, comma 2, right? Because that y coordinate staying 2. And then I'm going to have positive 2 root 5, comma 2. So I subtracted 2 root 5 from 0, and I added 2 root 5 from 0. If you had a number there, like say like the x coordinate was 3 for the center, you could have 3 minus 2 root 5, and you could have 3 plus 2 root 5 for your x coordinates. It's okay to write it as a sum or difference. For this one, since it was 0, it worked out pretty nice to just write down what that c value was, right? Worked out very nice, very nice. Whew. It's a beautiful graph. All right, see ya.